You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Up the Turnpike's post-game show. Trying to give myself a little bit more emotion in this one because, I don't know, I slept through basically 60 minutes of this, even though I was on stream with all of our patrons. So thank you to all the patrons who joined me over on the Discord. So sign up today to our Patreon channel. It's patreon.com/uptheturnpike for not only podcasts, but Friday six packs and videos, as well as live chats during some of the games. So sign up today to that. Thankfully, I had their company to accompany me during this boring ass loss. But, oh yeah, like holy hell. Like Jeremy is saying here right off the hop in the comments, halfway through the game, not much happening. A little spark is needed. Turn it up, boys. And it never showed up. Maybe during the end, maybe in the final 5 minutes, we got a little spark. We got a little sizzle. But other than that, holy crap, this game was boring. It was boring. It was bad. And we deserved what we got. We deserved what we got, which was a 2-0 loss to the Ottawa Senators, who aren't a bad team. The Ottawa Senators are not a bad team. But we come into this winning 3 in a row on the road. So we should have all kinds of momentum and desire. Their GM just went out and said, we're still in contention. Their GM just went out and said that. You think that there'd be some sort of gumption, some sort of motivation, some sort of fight in this team to do something. And it was there to be had. It was there to be had. But they laid an egg in what, as Spiz was saying, what an exciting game, very, very sarcastically and rightfully so. Sorry, wrong comment I clicked there. But like this was not, it was not fun to watch. Again, thankfully I had the stream, but there's no scoring in the first period to talk about. There were barely any shots. It's 7-5 in terms of shots in favor of the New York Islanders in that first period. We had a goal call back for goaltender interference. And rightfully so. When I saw that the replay for it, I immediately thought that it should be called back for goaltender interference. I was worried that Patrick might not call it back. So I'm just going to adjust the lights here a little bit because you never know how that's going to go with goaltender interference. It's just never obvious. Anything could happen. But he rightfully challenged and won that challenge. Sorry, I'm still going to adjust the lights. I played with them earlier and I screw them up. He challenged for goal interference and won. And it was. The Dobson never put his hands on whoever the hell it was that crashed the net. It was all him. And so the goal's called back. Good. You'd think that would have been a wake-up call for the Islanders. It was not. It was not a wake-up call at all. They did absolutely nothing in that first period. And that continued through the rest of the entire friggin' game, where nothing happened at all. Adam Gaudette scores here. The goal visualizer isn't going to do a good job of showing you the goal here, but it's effectively Ottawa cycles the puck around, which we couldn't do whatsoever. And it eventually gets tossed towards the net, where Dobson doesn't do a great job of creating that separation of moving Gaudette out of the way. I know some people complain because he seems to move away from Gaudette when the shot is coming in. I think he's trying to let Hogberg see it, but unfortunately he gives up too much space to Gaudette, who then gets a stick on it and it goes in. So like really crappy stuff from there. And then Ottawa doesn't do anything. We don't do anything. We have a little bit of fight in the final couple of minutes of that third period. I just want to bring up the natural stat trick just to see if like the eye test confirms what the numbers say at the final portion of that third period, where it seems that we finally came alive, realizing, hey guys, we can still win this game. So I'm going to bring up the shot map barely. If I switch tabs here, You can see that graph here. This is the Corsi 4 for the game at 5-on-5, of course. And it's mostly in favor of the Islanders the entire way. It dips back towards the Senators in the second, and then up heavily for the Islanders. They're finally realizing, oh shit, guys, we have a game to win. They do diddly squat on this power play. It looks horrendous. And then it lulls out as the Senators get a power play, rightfully so. They kill it. Hoiberg, whatever, does well. And then, yeah, we get that momentum back again, as I was seeing, but we do nothing with it. We pull the goalie with 2 minutes left. And we generate very little in terms of shots towards the net. It ends up working its way back towards our zone. And Brock Nelson just fumbles it, and it ends up in our net. And so we lose 2-0. Like, there's no goal visualizer because you don't need to see it. We lose 2-0 on an empty net goal. That shouldn't have happened in the first place because Brock Nelson couldn't handle a puck. But we're going to have someone join me here in a second because I'm sure they have some thoughts and concerns about the process of this game. So I'm going to bring him on as I pop in some earphones. Matt, buddy, how are you doing?
Oh, wait. I don't know if you can see me yet. There I am. I'm here. Mitch, I heard the Islanders got shut out by some no-name goalie. Shocking.
I mean, he didn't play that well. He was fine, of course. He earned his shutout, but like, we didn't do anything to challenge him in any way, shape, or form. It was awful.
Very frustrating from what I was able to see tonight. Obviously, on Tuesday nights my stream, so I was working, but I did have the game on. But 24 shots on net.
24 shots on net. 58 shot attempts to 49 for Ottawa. So 54% of the Corsi. But we end up with 33% of the expected goals. Make it make sense.
Okay, I don't get it.
Right? That means that we weren't getting we got shots, but it was all shitty shots. We weren't generating any sort of quality whatsoever towards their goalie. So while he gets the shutout, and rightfully so, we didn't trouble him nearly enough.
It goes back to what I was saying, man. Like this week, people were concerned, like, oh man, the Islanders they're winning some games. Are they gonna blow this and then lose? Not gonna sell? It's like, just wait. They play like shit at home. And they come home and guess what? They lost 7-10-2 at UBS Arena this year.
It's just Adam in the Discord put it pretty well. They just looked so lackadaisical, specifically Brock. They just looked like they didn't care. Which
is bad for Brock Nelson, who is maybe playing for he is playing for a contract. It is a contract year for him, but he also might get traded too. So
yeah,
not the time to be throwing in the towel, Mr. Nelson.
No, like Atlas Shrug says, he's playing to get traded. It's painfully obvious, but like, please do that. I know what they're trying to say, and I don't necessarily disagree, but can we actually get him playing like he wants to be traded? Because you're not going to get that if you play like shit.
No, he's. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's frustrating. He has had a very, very, very frustrating season. And so has the Islanders as a whole, but he's not helping his cause. That's for sure.
No, we can't. But if we can blame anyone, it's Orbican's dad, who said that we're going to go on a run. You can feel it. So if we need to blame anyone, it's Orbican's dad. Everyone find who Orbican's dad is. Please don't actually do that and just blame him. This is why we lost today. And not because the team played like shit.
No. It was because it was jinxed. Thanks.
Yeah, unbelievable. You tell Orbican Senior how disappointed we are in them. Unreal. And like, did you see the empty net goal? Were you able to watch that happen?
No. I'm coming into that one blind.
It's so dumb. Like, I'm sure you can find a replay of it once. Well, you can click on it here and watch it.
I'll pull it up while you're talking.
But it's so bad. Like, it's a behind the net pass from, I forget who, to Brock Nelson, who fumbles it. And then we lose a board battle in our own zone with a numerical advantage, right? Because we've pulled the goalie. It gets worked to Zub, who just slaps it on net, because, of course, that's what you should do in that situation. And they win 2-0.
I'm watching a puck battle with Noah Dobson, Brock Nelson, Matthew Barzal, and then Anders Lee's kind of hanging around here too.
And they lose it. Works it to Zub.
Dude, Dobson and Nelson here. Can somebody please Step in and get that puck. What is happening, man?
Yeah, really embarrassingly bad stuff. If there's anything positive from this game, it has been mimicked a few times in these comments. If I don't get to yours, it's not because I don't want to, so I haven't seen it just yet. But like Jeremy says, Hoiberg has been really great. Healthy Varlamov could be trade bait. Maybe. I think it is age, but maybe. And then, again, I think Easkin says, just want to echo that Hoiberg looks really good these past 2 games.
He did his job.
Yeah, he stopped how many shots today? I don't want to look at ice times. I can't this way. You're seeing it on the screen, but I'm not actually seeing it. I got my hand over it. So Hoiberg, 25 of 26 shots for 962. Just incredible stuff from our backup goalie.
Good. Maybe they found the diamond in the rough. And that'd even be like, not saying he's going to start 50 games for them. It'd be great. But like, can you start 20 games a year and be a serviceable backup maybe?
Yeah, right. Let Ilya Sorokin breathe a little bit. And we get a serviceable guy between the sticks. Like, that's fantastic. Love it. If it works out.
If it works out that way. Fingers crossed.
I have not figured out the lighting back again since I sat back there for the game. I look so white.
You do look very washed, and I'm very pale, and I look like I have more color than you.
Yeah, you just stood in the sun. I look like the Islanders sucked all the life out of me, which they kind of did with this boring game.
Oh God, I guess I picked a good day to work the night, huh?
You absolutely did, man. It was, and it's not like the Ottawa Senators were good. Again, when you look at the underlying numbers, the New York Islanders 58-49 shot attempts at 5-on-5, 61-55. The Ottawa Senators did not blow us out here. It's just that we generated absolutely no quality towards their net whatsoever. If you do, the expected goals was 30 some odd percent at 5-on-5. It's 29.07 in all situations for the Islanders. We did it to ourselves. We really did.
It's frustrating, man.
Yeah.
It really is. Did you go over any like game stats and box score stuff yet, or are you still just going through game stuff?
I was just going through game stuff, so we can still go through that.
Okay, perfect.
So
what do you want to hop into?
You bring it up so I don't see the numbers. So we can do the standard, like we can go into the game stuff.
Perfect.
Or the ice time.
Okay. So I'll read off the game stats and then we'll do some ice time and close with comments here.
Yeah.
So shots on goal, 27-24, sends with more. Face-off percentage, go figure. Islanders won 60.7% of the face-offs. No power play goals. Each team
on the face-off, 60%, but they lost the most important one when they pull the goalie. So they win an icing, and then Patty pulls the goalie because we have an offensive zone face-off, and they lose that face-off.
Do you remember who took it?
I think it was Bo Horvat. I think.
Okay. That's frustrating. That's very frustrating. For someone who's usually very good on the face-off dot, he was, tonight he was 72%, but not ideal.
In the one that mattered, yeah.
Penalty minutes, 7 a pop. I did see the Matt Martin fight.
So dumb.
I get that.
I get they said the kid is trying to make he's 28, I think. He's trying to make a name for himself in the NHL. And I get for Matt Martin, it's kind of like, I did it, so I'll do it for you. But it's a nothing fight that meant absolutely nothing and did nothing. It was dumb. It just kept Matt Martin off the ice. That was the point, man. It's so dumb.
26 hits to 22. Blocks, 24-15. Giveaways pretty even. Isles with one more, though, 12-11. Takeaways even at 9 a pop. All right. Ice times, baby. Who do you got? Forwards leading the way.
Matthew Barzal, I'm sure.
No.
Ooh.
It is actually Bo Horvat at 23 minutes and 16 seconds. Matthew Barzal is at 22:44, and Brock Nelson's at 22:15. So you have 3 forwards with over 22 minutes of ice time tonight.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't do a good goddamn.
They scored 0 goals, so clearly it did not work.
Yeah, 3 goals, all of them scored by Ottawa. That's right, because they took one off the board.
Yes. So Patrick Waugh is good on these challenges. That's a positive.
He's figuring out goaltender interference. Can someone interview him for the entire NHL to find out how he cracked the code?
He cracked the code. Least.
Matt Martin, clearly.
604 for Matty Martins. Gatcombe in unlucky number 16 got 727. And Kyle McLean, 8 minutes, 21 seconds for the 4th line.
Spiz will be happy that you mentioned the unlucky number 16 because that's the first thing he picked up on when he saw him today.
I love thinking of Spiz. That just made my night.
Thinking like, not even of, but like.
Thinking
Ooh.
like we're on the same page. Scary
Ooh.
stuff.
Ooh.
Defenseman Isaiah George was back.
Yep.
Who had the most amount of ice time tonight, though?
I'm going to say it's Noah Dobson still.
Okay. It is Noah Dobson.
Yeah.
Do you care to venture a guess?
Ooh.
Roughly. It's one of those nights, so I'm curious to see what you're thinking for Noah Dobson.
Okay. And see, I don't know what to say. I don't know if it's a lot or not that much. I'm going to say it's 25-30.
27-13.
Woo! Like, I know that Jake Sanderson has a ton of minutes. They showed it on the broadcast. He was up to like 28, 29 minutes near the end of the game. So he's probably near 30. But they're missing Thomas Chabot for most of the game. We were not missing a single defenseman last I checked this entire game. So playing him 27 minutes means that Cholowski and Isaiah George were not playing a whole lot. Although George was great, I thought.
I'll give you more on George in a second here. By the way, Sanderson almost played 32 minutes, 31-46.
But again, they were missing Chabot most of the game, so it makes sense, but still. Okay, so least amount of ice time for Islanders defenseman. I'm going to say it's Dennis Cholowski.
Correct. 10 minutes and 15 seconds. But Isaiah George played 14-20. He got 21 shifts, which was 8 more than Dennis Cholowski. And from what I saw, at least, I thought he looked, stable. I don't think it was like a monster game for him, but I thought he kind of picked up where he left off.
Picked up where he left off. He made one really good defensive play, at least that stood out anyways, in his own end, stripping the puck off of, I forget who it was. I think it was Pinto. Doesn't necessarily matter. It was a really good defensive play that could have led to a penalty, but it didn't because of his solid defensive play there. So there's some quality there. We just got to keep nurturing it, and it's going to need these like 14, 15 to 16 minutes a night type of thing.
Hogberg, as we mentioned, very good. 962 save percentage, stopped 25 of 26 shots.
Yeah, third star of the game, and rightfully so. Absolutely. Merrill, I don't think deserved it. I understand he got a shutout, but the Islanders did nothing to trouble him. Nothing. Absolutely
Gross.
nothing.
You want to do some comments before we hop out of here?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's move this way. Okay, so let's go from the top. Which one did I not do? Sandor Clegane, good old Game of Reference, Game of Thrones reference. Like I said in a previous comment, this team can't be bothered with continuing to win because they already won the cup in the last 3 games.
That's funny. I mean, it's painful to hear, but it's accurate.
Yeah, it is. And Andre kind of mimics the same thing there. This is classic example why Islanders are done. A better performance defensively is still not good enough to beat a fringe playoff team. By the way, I'm getting fed up with Barzal's play. Shoot the damn puck. Yeah, man. So
he
many
does
times.
to shoot more.
Yeah, that was kind of mimicked by Atlas saying, like, I'll take that Winnipeg trade, by the way.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier today on the channel. So if you missed that video after you're done here, go back and watch that. But I still don't want to do that.
I still don't want to do that. Marcus should be should Berg my
Hey now.
Hey now. Okay, I got to do a better job of editing these, I suppose. But although that was PG-ish. Hate to be this fan, but good. And get the thought of us not selling out of Lou's old brain.
That's how I'm taking these losses, is I'm spinning it as, okay, this is what the team needs. I'm not actively every night going like, I hope they lose, but I'm not getting too high or too low on this team. I'm staying relatively numb. And with every loss, I'll go, okay, hopefully this is, one step closer to making some change.
Yeah. Sloppy saying, I'll certainly lived up to the stereotype tonight. Looked old, slow, and no idea how to score. Yep. Even Brock Nelson on what seemed like a breakaway.
Ugh, God, he's done.
Broken controller, shot it at the goalie, almost like Bill would have been pissed off because it shot it right at its chest, basically.
Those are my favorite comments in the Discord when Bill's like, right in the crest.
Stop aiming for the chest.
Yeah.
Okay, and then from Nick, if Marcus keeps playing this way, he might be able to be traded. I don't know if you see a lot of goalies getting traded at the trade deadline. Do you?
No, not usually. Maybe a off-season thing.
Yeah. I for us, I think go back to like I'd rather trade Varley than the Neuberg if we could.
1,000%.
Yeah. Although like I'd like a lot of things, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get it. Will Islanders score a power play goal the rest of the season and like Eastskin power play still unproductive? It's like 0 for 25 is what I heard on the broadcast.
I saw. Is it 0 for their last 25?
That's what they said.
That's not surprising, but I have a good, not a good stat, but a wild stat about the Islanders that I could share.
Go for it.
Braden Point has more power play goals than the entire Islanders team. He has 12 power play goals on the season. The Islanders as a team have 11.
Youch. That's bad. Yeah, we haven't scored a power play goal since the Ottawa Senators on December 8th. And I'm just trying to get the numbers here. It's just taking a while. Yeah, a month. It's just taking a while for some reason on Hockey Reference to compile all these numbers together for some reason. I don't get why that's such a hard computation to make, but it's hard for them. But if the broadcast says 25, I have no reason to believe that they're wrong. They're usually pretty spot on that stuff.
That's horrible. Yeah. That's a month. They've been a month without a power play goal.
Yeah.
And bad. I know there's the Christmas break, but that's like 3 days. They had 3 or 4 days off in a row.
Can I feed you a positive potentially related to the special teams? Orbican, not Orbican Senior. PK was better last couple of games at least, and we haven't blown a lead in weeks, mostly because we haven't had many. Fair. But now this is 3 games straight where we have not allowed a penalty kill or a power play goal against.
Another one where they only took 1 penalty. So that's
sure.
Formula.
Sorry, it's 4 games now. 4 games in a row without a power play goal against in 5 opportunities.
Okay.
So, it's 100%. It's pretty good. Even if I still haven't figured this out. I don't screw that. Screw you, Hockey Reference for now.
While you're looking that up,
yes.
I want to look up what the Islanders PK is up to after this recent success.
Very, very limited. Look at his face.
Their penalty kill percentage after this hot run has ballooned all the way up to 65.2%.
And it's not even 2/3 of the time.
Worst in the league by 4 percentage points. Next closest is Detroit at 69.1%.
That's too big of a gap at the bottom.
Yes, it is. By the way, for reference, from 69 up to 74 would put you from 31st to 25th. So that's that's the gap we're talking about here. It's a big 69. It's in these percentages. It seems like, that really can't be that much, but even 10% higher. So 75 puts you at 24th. I guess that not as big of a difference as I was anticipating, but it's still 4 percentage points in this is way too much.
It's way too much. Oh,
10.6% on the power play. That might be worse actually. The Ducks are 13%. So not worse, but 10.6 is just.
And I take it being 10% more effective on the penalty kill. Oh my God, let's go. That's insane. 1 out of every 10 doesn't go in. Great. Insane.
No, say on the power play, they're 10.6% on the year.
It was 11.5 at home, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's worse after tonight. Whatever it is.
Certainly is. Another little thought here on Brock Nelson with about 5 minutes or so left. Nelson had a chance to drive the net unimpeded, and he did not. I found that was not just a problem with Brock. It was a problem with a few people. Maybe we're referencing the same play, and I didn't catch on that it was Brock there in the slot. But at one point, Anthony Duclair comes in wide and throws it into the slot. And on paper, that's a great play. But there was no one in the slot. I'm not blaming Anthony Duclair in any way, shape, or form for that play. But he throws it into the slot, and there's no... It goes through all the Ottawa Senators players as well. There's no one there in an Islanders sweater, and there should be. Because that is a great play. It was a high slot, perfect scoring opportunity if someone was there and they weren't. No one was driving the goddamn net today, and it drove me nuts.
Have you seen Jake Sanderson's post-game quote on this game?
No.
It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to make any of us happy, but it's very telling.
Okay.
Kind of a boring win, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right.
But that's not what you want to hear after a game. Be like, man, we really had to grind that one out tonight. Islanders gave us a tough, that's what you want to hear. Kind of a boring win. Holy shit. That is not good.
Like all the sentiments of like, oh, same old boring Islanders. It's not the same old boring. We were boring because we closed down the game. We suffocated it with our defensive prowess. This was just, it wasn't even sloppy. It's like two teams who didn't really want to play, is what it felt like.
Patrick Waugh said we should have been more hungry. We should have more urgency than what we did. Sometimes you have to dig those ones, and for some reason we did not.
Yeah, it was there. The game was there to be had. Again, Ottawa didn't play great, and Jake Sanderson effectively confirms that with his comments. But we did nothing to take this game. We, as Patty said, we're not hungry enough, which is insane. You just won 3 in a row. Your GM just said that you are still in contention, and you were effectively proving him right. And then you shit the bed at home, and shit the bed not because like, oh, we made so many mistakes. You just didn't care. It seems like, and I'm sure they do care. It's just, how does it not translate on the ice? I don't get it.
I don't know. I wish I had a better answer, but this is just this team. I'm sorry. You're more than halfway through the season. Back to reality, as Chris says. Yep, this is just this team.
Yeah. Nick saying, hopefully when they come back, when Varley comes back, they don't try to waive Hoiberg because someone's going to take him. It's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with Nick on this.
Yeah. John, the team is offensively gross. Absolutely.
When I love him, but if Anders Lee's your best offensive player, you got a problem.
Yeah, 34-year-old Anders Lee, like, it should not be your greatest offensive player by a healthy margin. It should not be
by a significant, like best by a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so we shall be petrified after hearing the comments from Lump of Jelly's inner dementia. Come on, 4 seasons steady decline, and he believes, yeah, he's sharp as a marble. That's quite harsh on Lou. Let's just say this: he could be playing the market in a way. I think he's got to say what he said in terms of like, we're still in it to win it, because that's what Gary Bettman wants to hear, is every team's going for it. But he's having discussions on some of these players for sure.
If those comments are warranted, if we get to the deadline and everyone's still here. If Mitch and I are doing our deadline day reaction stream and we get to the 3:00 window and the Islanders have not traded anybody, then we can be upset.
Yeah. And then Michael, 2 final comments here is like, Lou must go, and then prefaces that by like, how can you even be considered, kind of like what David was saying there, how can you ever be considered a playoff contender when you can't score a power play goal in a month?
Yep.
It's
no notes.
No, it's exactly that. It's really sad. We are not a contender. And I know he never said contender, but like he did say we're in contention, and he meant in contention for the playoffs, which is still not a reality. Even a win today would have only kept us, like 3 points out of a playoff spot, with a bunch of teams to still leapfrog.
Yeah, still not enough.
So that's it. That's it for today. What a boring ass win. Just like boring ass loss. Sorry. Even worse.
So that'll do it for us on this post-game show. We'll have a podcast episode on the Patreon coming out tomorrow night. So subscribe there if you're interested. More content coming your way on YouTube. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe, leave a like before you go. I'm Matt, he's Mitch, and we'll catch you next time.